The first knock came at exactly 3:13 a.m., not 3:12, not 3:14, exactly 3:13. Emily shot upright in bed, her heart pounding. She stared at the glowing numbers on her alarm clock. 3:13 a.m. Three slow knocks echoed through her apartment. Knock, knock, knock. She had moved into the building only 4 days earlier. No friends knew her new address. Her family lived in another state and she wasn't expecting visitors. She held her breath. Silence. After a full minute, she slowly walked toward the front door and looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. No footsteps, no elevator, nothing. Trying to calm herself, Emily convinced herself it must have been a neighbor. The next night, she woke before the knocking. Her eyes opened for no reason. She reached for her phone. 3:12 a.m. Her stomach tightened. 1 minute later. Knock, knock, knock. The exact same sound, the exact same rhythm. She rushed to the peephole. Again, no one. This time, however, something lay on the floor outside her apartment. A small white envelope. She opened the door so quickly that it slammed against the wall. The hallway was completely deserted. She picked up the envelope. Inside was a single sentence. Don't answer the fourth knock. Emily frowned. There had only been 3 knocks. Who wrote it? How did they leave it without appearing on the hallway? She barely slept. The following morning, she asked the apartment manager if anyone had been playing tricks on her. The old man stared at her longer than expected. Then he quietly asked, "What time did you hear it?" Emily hesitated. 3:13. The color drained from his face. Without another word, he handed her a spare key to the building's security room. Watch last night's hallway camera. The footage began. At 3:12, nothing. At exactly 3:13, the knocking echoed through the speakers. Emily leaned closer. No one appeared. The hallway remained completely empty while the sound continued. She replayed it 5 times. Still nothing. As she stood to leave, the manager stopped her. "You should move." Emily laughed nervously. "Because of some strange noise?" He shook his head. "Because everyone who stayed in apartment 612 long enough eventually answered the 4th knock. What happened to them?" He didn't answer. That night, Emily locked every window, every door, and kept every light on. She promised herself she would ignore whatever happened. The clock turned. 3:13. Knock, knock, knock. She covered her ears. Then, a 4th knock. Soft, almost polite. Knock. Every hair on her body stood up. The envelope had warned her. Don't answer the 4th knock. Someone whispered from outside. Emily. Her blood froze. She had never told anyone in the building her name. The whisper came again. I'm cold. It sounded like a frightened little girl. Emily stepped closer to the door. No, she whispered to herself. It's a trick. The voice began crying. I don't want him to find me. Emily reached for the doorknob. Her hand trembled. Just before she turned it, her phone buzzed. An unknown number. One message. If you open the door, don't look into the hallway. Look at the ceiling. Her breathing became shallow. Who sent it? She counted to 3, unlocked the door, and pulled it open. The hallway was empty, completely silent. Remembering the message, she slowly lifted her eyes. She screamed. Clinging upside down to the ceiling directly above her door was a pale figure with impossibly long arms. It smiled, then vanished. Emily slammed the door shut and collapsed to the floor. The next morning, she packed everything she owned. She didn't care about the lease. She just wanted to leave. As the movers carried the final box downstairs, an elderly woman from the apartment across the hall stopped her. You saw it, didn't you? Emily nodded. The woman sighed. It doesn't haunt this apartment. Emily frowned. What do you mean? It follows the person who opens the door. Emily felt her chest tighten. She jumped into her car and drove for 6 hours without stopping. By sunset, she checked into a hotel hundreds of miles away. For the first time in days, she smiled. She was finally safe. That night, she fell asleep almost instantly at exactly 3:13 a.m. Three slow knocks echoed from the hotel room door. Knock, knock, knock. Emily closed her eyes. She refused to move. Then came a fourth knock and a familiar whisper. You remembered not to answer. A long pause followed. But I never said I needed the door. Behind her, inside the room, something quietly laughed.